Here we go. All right. Hello. Good morning, everybody. So now it's time for us to begin our next Facebook live interview right here. So before we officially invite and introduce our guest here today, so we have my fellow buddy Lawrence. You want to say hi to our friends?
Hi everybody. Good morning.
All right, and today's guests are very honored, and in fact, I'm very excited to hear from her. From Bahagian Pendidikan Cukai, we have Puan Neazlin for LHDN. All right, so very honored to have you here today to share with us, especially fellow SME, in terms of tax education for the SME owners. Which, for those of you out there, so I would like to invite you to like and share today's video, Facebook Live, to share as many people as you can, because I believe, and I strongly believe, today's topic here, taxation education, is something which is so crucial and important to help all of us here during this time. So once again, Puan Neazlin, you want to say hi to our friends?
Yeah, hi everyone. And thank you, Dato Lawrence and Wesley, for inviting me today on this, I would call, virtual stage. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Both of you are looking great as usual.
Thank you. We can't do it offline, because I know that especially Puan Neazlin, where you are basically, in terms of Bahagian Pendidikan Cukai, you give a lot of exposure talks. Too bad we can't have it offline, so let's do it virtual, and it's good because it's recorded. We can share with as many people as you can. For those of you here, say hi to us and share to as many people as you can as we begin today's Facebook Live. So here we have Puan Neazlin, in my parentheses, together with conjunction with LHDN, with a lot more companies, where we have started this BINA Rebuilding SME Future Together. So my question to you is, why would LHDN would want to join BINA?
All right. Okay, you see, LHDN has always been persistent to enhance tax compliance level among taxpayers in the country. Yeah, as you all know, tax compliance has always been the key to lembaga for whatever things that we plan, that we strategize. Yeah, it always been our main anthem. Yeah, and it has been our main anthem for so long. And to align with that, we always look forward to improve our service delivery and also enriching our engagement with other agencies, which include the private sectors and NGOs like My Parentis. Why? Because we believe the private sectors and NGOs alike have this, what we call, the significant presence that can assist us to plug the capacity gap and enable us to reach out to a wider group of community, businesses, audience through a greater collaboration rather than if we do it alone, and especially when we conduct program and activities together. So you see, LHDN had run many successful program with My Parentis before, and it had always been fruitful. Don't you agree with me, Dato Lawrence? Yeah. And so now, when we have this new engagement program called Rebuilding SMEs Future Together, or BINA, it is even more exciting because it gathers quite a mix of industry players like Alliance Bank, Astro, SME Bank, among a few to mention. Yeah. But who would have thought LHDN would come into the picture and jump on the bandwagon together? Yeah. So in a way, it gives us the opportunity to reach out to the public at large and say, hey, we are here to facilitate, so don't be afraid. And this especially goes to the majority of taxpayers who are willingly to comply. And we also strongly believe that we have a fair share on the role to help redevelop those SMEs that are severely affected by the current pandemic. Likewise, our other strategic partners. Yeah.
All right, Puan Neazlin, I think this is a very short and clear introduction. And just let me recap a little bit of how we have met and how we have collaborated over the years. I think LHDN, again, personally, I have to take this opportunity to thank you all as well, the team. That we have been working together for almost 2 to 3 years down the road in My Apprentice, since a few types of initiatives that was launched by LHDN. And I think, yes, the misconception about LHDN and their services and the things that they do is something that we will try our best to work with you in educating the public. So just a bit of recap, what is BINA? So BINA is actually an initiative by My Apprentice together with, again, Puan Neazlin. You have done the introduction, with Astro, with Alliance Bank, with Celcom, and with so many other leaders. But of course, when we formulated that program, we felt that, something is very important that is missing here, which is actually tax. You see, all business owners has, not to say problem, but challenges in so many areas of tax. And that is why I say, no, we need to work with LHDN. We need to work with the Lembaga Hasil. So, and that is why how we got connected. And then after that, how we are running BINA together. So I think, again, I take this opportunity to thank the whole team again. But moving on to my next question, that is exactly what I said. There's a lot of misconception. There's a lot of misunderstanding about taxation for business people. Some people are actually even evade, or some people are still unsure of what to do. So what is this main misunderstanding of taxation among business owners, and what kind of tax education that you think these business owners should know?
Okay, the misunderstanding dilemma. Well, this goes without saying. We get this a lot of time, and most recent scenario when we do our random interviews, especially among the young, naive entrepreneurs doing gig business. Yeah, we call them potential taxpayers because they are yet to register. So these young entrepreneurs fear to register tax file due to the wrong stigma that tax is all about paying, by having the impression that tax is directly calculated from gross profit because they do not factor in the tax exemption, tax relief, rebates, and whatnot that they can be entitled to. And they also miss out the point that even if they suffer losses in the business, these losses can even be carry forward, I mean, indefinitely. So I suppose they genuinely do not have this information, or they are simply ignorant about tax. And another scenario, word of mouth circulating about one's bad experience dealing with LHDNM in whatever circumstances it was, may also give a wrong impression and leave the entrepreneurs misunderstood altogether. So, sharing among common issues we encountered, especially with the sole proprietorship group, which include, to determine whether these expenses are allowable or non-allowable, and sometimes they get mixed up to include the personal expenses in the calculation, and they do not have proper information on the correct tax computation, and poor record keeping, yeah, the incomplete record. This is very, very common. By right, proper record must be kept for 7 years for audit purposes, but many still do not know that this document must be kept either manually or digitally. So we want to advise the business owners to keep it in digital form so the documents will last longer. So meaning that most of the time, lack of information has always been key to those misunderstanding dilemma. And this shows the more reason LSDN need to reach out to those SMEs to provide them with this right information. Yeah. And you're asking the other question is about what tax education that SMEs owner should know. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is where our role come to play. We are here to help and facilitate the SMEs with the right information they need. So before that, let me quickly recap what's in store on budget 2021. There are three there are basically three goals. Yeah, the second goal talks about business continuity, where it underlines special attention to SMEs through funding assistance, training, digital equipment, and grants. So this is where Penjana economic stimulus package and other tax initiatives are laid out. So these also include the Grant Khas Prihatin, the GKP, which is meant to ease the burden faced by the affected entrepreneurs. However, we found there are still many informal entrepreneurs are still not registered with LHDN, even SSM, and even the local authorities for whatever reason it is, maybe out of fear. So as a result, this government assistance in the form of GKP and other kind of initiatives do not reach these entrepreneurs. And just recently, I think this week, our PM has announced on the GKP Tambahan under Permai initiative, which is to be extended to about, if I'm not mistaken, 500 to 800,000 SMEs nationwide. Yeah. But anyway, we are yet to receive further directive from our big brother, the MOF, before we can execute anything accordingly. So our role is to ensure this group of SMEs register their tax file with LHDN, so they will be able to enjoy every forms of funding assistance from the government. And through this BINA program, yeah, hope we can reach those entrepreneurs and help them to solve problems when they fail to apply for GKP. And apart from GKP, when registering the tax file, SMEs might find, without registering the tax file, SMEs might find difficulties to apply for loan financing from the bank, because there are some bank requires applicants to submit e-filing statements or latest tax statement, especially for credit card application. Yeah, and with that, I wish to highlight here that in the effort put up by the government to push our country towards becoming cashless society, much has been done to automate and digitalize the system, where eventually all business transactions will be captured into the systems. This includes the invoices, the receipts, and whatnot. And sooner, who knows, all this data will be integrated and shared among the government authorities and the financial institutions like the banks. So that means the more valid reason why we need to motivate the SMEs to comply voluntarily and report the correct income from now on. Yeah, and also to educate them on their responsibility to submit tax return form from the first year of starting a business, regardless they make a profit or loss. So we will utilize BINA platform to provide this explanation on the importance of tax file registration, because the common offense committed by many businesses is not because they do not pay taxes, but because they do not submit their tax return forms. Yeah. So basically, we will educate them to do it right the first time, so they can avoid all the unnecessary penalties and only pay the right amount of tax, not more and not less. Yeah.
I think this is very important because being a business owner myself, actually a lot of my Printies programs are also a little bit based on my personal experience. I think one of it that I've mentioned, that one Neazlin has mentioned, is actually this kind of challenges about submitting your tax returns, and then even paying. That could be the second part of it to some people. But I think a lot of business people may need this kind of program to actually educate them. I think not just educating, but sometimes it's just to get them to know. I think that is the key thing that I felt that is lack among business people, because sometimes we are so dependent on our accountants, we are dependent on our auditors. So sometimes this knowledge, what I felt was business owner, him or herself, need to know. So that is why we reach out to LHDN, so that we can do as much as we can to reach out to more business owners to give them this kind of knowledge and awareness. So I think thank you so much for that clarification on the two questions. Wesley?
Yep. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, and I think it's really very important for us to register, submit the right amount. I'm a business owner myself, so I know the importance of it. I want to buy assets. Yeah.
Good.
So now, yeah. So one question for you, since you are part of this program and you talk about the goal, sustainability, assistance grants, and to take advantage of the GPK. So hence
GKP.
people should. Sorry, did I get it right again? Sorry.
GKP.
GKP, correct.
Grand
GKP. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, and we got some comments coming in. Haslinda say, good info for digital economy, or social media influencers can join. So yeah, for those of you here, if you're in the gig economy, digital economy, social media influencer, I think it's very important for you to join as well. Now we have one guy call in Fizri and say, Miss BizRev Roadshow, good for SME. Oh, good supporter for BizRev. Yeah. All right. And we've got other friends coming in as well. Shuhaida and say good morning. Azizi say good morning. Avisena say good morning. Freezy, of course, say good morning as well. And Sun Orange says hello.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Because I'm hardcore supporter, Sun Orange was also here the previous time. Okay, so my question to you here, Puan, is this. What are the things that LHDN would want to bring to the SMEs owner?
Okay. So, right. What are the things that we aspire to bring to SMEs owner?
Yep.
Right. As one of the government agencies collaborating in this BINA program, I am taking this opportunity to strongly encourage all small business owners, enterprises, sole proprietors, and partnerships to participate in this program together. So, of course, different types of business have its own business model with its own unique tax issues, which require a different set of solution altogether. So they are basically no one size fits all kind of solution. So for Sendirian Berhad SMEs, we usually advise them to engage qualified tax agent to manage their tax affairs. But as what said by Dr. Lawrence, it is good that we get to know ourselves what's going on with our own tax matters, not simply depending on our tax agent. Yeah, so you are very right there, Dato Lawrence. At least we got to know what are the things is important, and what are the new updates in the, every year we change our the relief and all that. There will be tambahan, so it's good to know. And with that, I also want to share today that we basically have a dedicated tax advisory consultation team. We name it as Kumpulan Nasihat Sokongan Peniaga. NSP, Kumpulan Nasihat Sokongan Peniaga, in all our 39 branches nationwide. So anybody, you can get the contact from our customer care officer from LHDN website according to your locality. So let's say if you are residing in Seremban, you can always call and contact Cawangan Seremban. If you are in PJ, you can always find and look for customer care officer who is in charge on PJ's office. But since we are still observing the MCO period, you may request to have a one-to-one or group session for a virtual briefings or talks by our dedicated NSP consultant, FOC. Yeah, so there can basically customize your session according to your needs. For example, if you wish to have topics on incentives for SMEs, Penjana package, I might not be able to elaborate the details here. Yeah, and also how to keep proper records, the allowable, non-allowable expenses, capital allowances, tax exemptions, relief, so on and so forth. Yeah, you may name, they will customize your sessions. Yeah, and we also have a dedicated collection team that give priority on SME cases. And in LHDN, we strongly recognize the importance of digital platforms. And to share with you, Dato and Wesley,
Yep.
we have a spectrum of about more than 20 digital services at your disposal. Yeah, if you wish to register file, just click e-daftar. If you need to make payment, just click Bayar Hasil.
Yep.
And we also have an interactive chat room, Hasil Chat, where you can have direct interaction to address various taxation issues with our Hasil Caroline consultant, which operates from 9 to 5 only lah. Okay, malam tak ada. 9 to 5 office hour. So that's alternative. Rather than you call, you can have interactive chat room. And customer feedback form is also another way that you can obtain from our portal. You can also utilize this customer feedback form for whatever needs that you wish to be addressed. And latest digital edition this year is My Tax app. That is our new one-stop information and service portal. It provides the convenient access to various tax-related information with a single sign-on. So this includes the detail if you want to have a quick check on your ledger transactions, on your loan repayment status, and monthly tax deduction. It's like very easy. It's only in your fingertips. Yeah. So do explore and give feedback on our digital services, because we really want to provide our SMEs, taxpayers out there, with better customer experience. Yeah. And again, calling for all the SMEs, entrepreneurs, and business owners out there to join and support this BINA program together. Yeah.
So I think all in all, if I could summarize, what did you say, Puan Neazlin? Which means if there's anything, reach out to you. I think a lot of people have the misconception that, oh, you the tax, they are like the authority, So I think, I'm also like, you got the buyer hassle, everything online, all those chat that you have. I think it's very good. It comes in very handy, especially during times like this.
Mhm.
So people couldn't justify. They cannot submit. It's all there within their reach. It's all via
Yeah.
online. So one thing I caught from you is anything can look for the Kumpulan Nasihat Sokongan Peniaga in all your 39
Yes.
branches. It's all
Mhm.
there.
In the
Everything is
website.
with your charity is all there, right? Available there. Side. All right, good. So yeah, so interesting enough. So Puan Nazin, perhaps it's a very interesting topic that we have here today. So in the meantime, let's see whether we have some questions coming in. And any one of you here, if you have questions in regards of pendidikan cukai, anything about tax education you want to have, it's a good opportunity for you to address the point that's over here. All right, so as we're gonna screen through the questions right here before we continue, and all right, so yeah, so Lawrence, you want to add anything at the moment? Lawrence, you're muted, I guess. Are you?
I think I have nothing to add, but I think the question from Shuhaida is very valid. Maybe I
Yep.
think you want to take the honor to get the question to Puan Nazlin instead.
All right. So yeah, Puan Nazim, we have a question from Shuhaida Shafiza. What is your advice for youth who wants to start business in registering for tax? They have a mindset that there is no need to do because they are not making enough.
Okay.
So, mm.
Let me show
Yeah.
you the question
So
right
Puan
here.
Neazlin, so I think most probably this question, why did I say it was valid when I saw it was posted, is because this mindset about micro
Mhm.
businesses or even youths, getting into business, they felt that, oh, I'm still not making enough money, so why should I actually register LHDN at the early stage of my business? Maybe I think Puan Neslin, you mentioned a bit about registering just now, right? The importance of registering your tax file in LHDN. So maybe you
Yeah.
want to enhance and enforce on that particular statement.
As I said earlier, of course, usually we would advise this group of new entrepreneurs. I would say these are the newbies lah in the business, or maybe they are maybe ignorant. They sometimes they're scared of when they have this stigma on, oh, kalau cukai tu kena bayar, cukai kena bayar. It's never like cukai tu sebenarnya it's a responsibility, so they are missing out on that. Tax is always about responsibility. So that is one the major thing that we need to change the mindset of a new generation. Cukai is basically your responsibility. So for the newbies, especially those SMEs, yeah, especially like the youth who are doing gig economy, for example, in order for them to qualify for Grant Khas Prihatin, yeah, okay, it's coming soon, anytime. So that's the reason why we would, yeah, always say that uh, SME, please register the file with LHDN, if in order for you not to lose out the funding assistance from the government. Yeah, you can always say that, oh, it's not enough, we are only making this much, but yep, not necessarily you may pay the tax today, but as I said earlier, if you are suffering losses, these losses can even be carried out for the next business, the next year. And I don't see there's a reason why they should be afraid of paying, to confront us and ask what actually they need, what are actually the problem is. Maybe um, it's because as I said earlier, the word of mouth also play the role here. When the other party say, "Hey, you don't have to pay the tax lah. You can actually, uh, you know, um, you can actually save. Why must you pay if you are not making enough?" Yeah, it's true. But if you are thinking of um, the ecosystem, meaning that you are paying not only for yourself, but you are paying for the country. uh, Even though it's only a bit, but actually it goes through the cycle in the tax ecosystem. The money you spend for your tax actually circulating, and it comes back to you, it comes back to your family, it comes back to your children in the form of education, infrastructure, and all that. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we can actually there's a lot of ways that we can motivate this young group. Yeah, so I think yes, that's uh that's how I put it.
Thank you so much, Juan Nazlin, and hope that we answer your question here to Shuhaida coming in. So yep, and let's take another question here. So we have a question from Noma Nodin. Need to know what happened if our documents and receipt related to our business lost during the flood recently. Kerana banjir.
Oh, okay. Please when make a police report for any document lost, stated type of documents and details. The police for advice, it is good to make a copy all arguments digitally.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Usually, okay, banjir is something that we can help. We couldn't help it. It's some we would say apa tu it is satu tragedy, ya, something that we can, something that yep,
You can avoid
it's,
yeah.
yeah, you can't avoid. uh, so to ease the to ease the problem, they can actually lodge a police report, yeah, report on the document losses. They can state what type of documents in details in the police report, and also seek for advice from the auditors, what are things that needed. Maybe there would be other ways that you know, um, we can help up. So you mean now all the what do you call that, the document losses, if it's something to do with your salary slip and all that, I think you can go back to your employer and ask if but um, yeah, this is the business, yeah. So if businesses, maybe I think the best is you go and make the police report, and get the advice. uh, and I would advise for those who have this problem, make sure you document you make it digital, so it you wouldn't, you wouldn't um, you wouldn't have any, you know, any you have this backup later on in the future.
Right. Okay, so thanks for that. So remember to just make it digital, so just in case, right? So I think that's a very good
I think
reminder given.
the most important thing is that make it in a digital form, so as and when they need it, they can retrieve it at any point of time.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Good. So thanks for the answer question. Yep. Yep. Lawrence, you want to address the next question? Lawrence?
I
Anything
think
left?
I think already being answered on that part on the pandemic. I think I'm sure LHDN is more than happy to assist
Yep.
whichever they can, because I think this is something that is unfortunate for everybody. So I think I have no questions so far.
Yep. Okay, good.
This one,
So
I think
yeah.
on this one thing about assistance in terms of installment payments for outstanding tax, and can LHDN give installment? Of course, I'm not in liberty
Okay.
to answer for
Uh,
LHDN, but Puan Nazrin?
so for installment, yeah, right. Um, okay, we do give installments to taxpayers who wishes to restructure the installment plan. Maybe previously uh, they have the structured 6 month payment plan, but in certain what do you call, with the impact of the pandemic, so many companies are facing loss in revenue. So of course they can apply for installment. So if the taxpayers faces difficulties, they can go to the IRB, they can call, they need to get the approval first, yeah, from the IRB, and they may need to show some bank statements and projected cash flow to prove that it is difficult to pay the current tax payable. And the application for installments can be applied if they're really facing financial problem. So documents needed usually is letter of application, bank statements, projected cash flow, and others, but it's subject to approval. Yeah, it is possible. Yeah.
Good. All right. So and just one last thing right there. Thank you so much for that point, Neazlin. And just one last
Yep.
thing here. Norman, I think give a very good recap. New generation can always depend on old generation. Our father did their responsibility to develop this beloved country. Time for us to continue this effort to reassure that Malaysia develop accordingly. Yeah, which I think is a very interesting remark. So yeah, so just an additional thing, anybody who would like to apply, so there's an online using the feedback form right at the site. So if there's anything, just reach out to us. Here, reach out to, yes, Panazin, you want to add on?
Yeah, if I may suggest, since today is the first introductory session from LHDN
Yep,
to make the audience aware of our presence in BINA program, so
yep,
going forward, maybe we can explore another few tech talk shows, and
yep.
the audience can request their topic preference. Yeah.
Definitely,
So
definitely. Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's very important that we get to know about this sex education, especially from you, Pon Nazin. And thank you so much for your time. Well, because like, wow, I didn't realize that 30 minutes just passed by just like that. Right.
30
So
minutes.
yep,
Yeah.
30 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Yep. So Lawrence, you want to say anything?
Yes, again, thank you so much, Puan Neazlin. I think we have been engaging together for some time, and I know your passion in reaching out to the public, to the people on tax education. I think there's so much more that we can do together, and I really love that idea about creating very specific topics for the public on tax education. So again, Puan Neazlin, thank you so much on behalf of My Printis that you all are supporting BINA, and soon enough, we're going to do more in other programs as well. Thank you for your time. I wish you stay safe and together with your team as well. Thank you.
Right. Wishing everyone stay well, stay safe. And once again, thanks to Wesley and Dr. Lawrence for having me today.
Sure. Definitely have you more. And again, so Puan Neazlin, before we say goodbye, in our tradition here is we're going to take a group picture virtually. Okay, so Lawrence, what's our post for today? Oh, okay, the love sign, right? The love sign.
Oh,
Love sign, right? The love sign, right? So just a picture. So everybody gonna post and look at the camera and ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. So stay safe. Once again, thank you so much for your time, Puan Neazlin, and for the rest of the team right there from Badan Pendidikan Cukai, thank you so much for your time moderating this as well. And again, Lawrence, thank you so much, and to all of you here, thank you and stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.